Back, everyone. Every public school in Texas should remove any mentions of Cesar Chavez from its lessons. That is the latest directive from the state after sexual assault allegations surfaced against the late labor leader. Let's talk more about the implementation of that with Sneha Dey. She's an education reporter with the Texas Tribune. Sneha, welcome and thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Talk to us first about how the state is communicating this directive not to include Cesar Chavez in any lessons moving forward.
Right. So the Texas Education Agency had sent out written guidance late yesterday, ordering public schools in the state to both revise lesson plans to remove any mentions of Cesar Chavez, and then in addition, to cancel or redirect any events or activities that were planned for Cesar Chavez Day, which is coming up on March 31st.
I think it'd be helpful to focus on just helping people understand this. So what are some of the ways that Chavez shows up in the curriculum here in Texas?
Right. So I think it's important to understand just how big of a historical figure he has been. And this is an activist that has had strong ties to Texas. And so currently the state social studies curriculum mandates that students learn about Chavez in multiple grades. So first in fifth grade and then again in U.S. history. But this guidance would effectively mean that folks would be exempt from those standard requirements. They're saying that because Chavez is now like a controversial figure in public policy and social affairs, that exempts them from those specific standard requirements.
Yeah, we've been reporting about how the State Board of Education is reworking its social studies curriculum right now. We've done numerous reports about that. So what does this do now to that work for the State Board? Does it create more revisions for them to make now?
Right. So it's too early to say for sure, but in this guidance, the state education agency indicated that they expect the state to remove any explicit requirements to teach about Chavez in those as part of that rewriting. And so the board is set to vote on those new standards in June, so they still have some time to make those changes before those new standards are enacted.
Yeah, a few more months to iron out those details too. In these final few moments, Sneha, what are some of the other ways that schools across the state are reacting to these new allegations about Cesar Chavez?
Yeah, so we're already seeing the Austin School District last week say that instead of celebrating Chavez on March 31st, that holiday, that they would celebrate the labor leader Dolores Huerta, who co-founded the United Farm Worker with him, and also said that she was a victim, one of the many victims. And then in Houston, they are renaming the holiday to Farm Workers Day. We're also going to see, we're seeing this in Texas and across the country, questions about high schools that are and middle schools that are named after Cesar Chavez. Will they see a renaming? So that's a question folks will have to answer.
Yeah, so much more to follow with this, but you can read Sneha Dey's reporting at the Texas Tribune's website, so I'll direct you there. But Sneha, welcome again, and thanks again for being with us.
Great to see y'all. Thanks.